makes sure I look good, yeah? Sometime, along that timeline, you will crash, okay? You will not be able to keep it up.
Yep.
Because one, mentally, I'm doing so well, why should I stop? Why should I stop? And then you're kind of restricting more and more and more.
Every time you do a diet, you have a goal.
Yeah.
Like most of the people, they have goals. Like
Yeah.
5 kilo got. So it's not about how much body fat. It's like the weighing scale or like it's a very, very toxic relationship with the scale.
They've lived their whole life kind of like being their physique or their health being determined by the number on the scale.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It psychologically they're like, oh, I want to go down to this weight. I want to go down to 5 kg tons, and I want to lose like 10 kg, whatever. But like, it's a lot more than that.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of our health transformation. Last episode we looked at Meri, which was what type of body was it?
So it was called endomorph. So that's the somatotypes that we covered.
That's a little bit of recap as well. And if you don't know what that is, you go watch our previous episode.
Yeah, you better.
And this episode will be a completely different body, which is my body type.
Yeah. Which is more ectomorph. Towards the ectomorph and mesomorph go bits more, I would say towards the ectomorph, I would say. Yeah.
So technically we're dealing with the general body shaming population, okay? Like too fat, too skinny, like that type of So if you're skinny, don't gain weight that easily, and are called baat pani khanna hola type ko, then this is for you.
So thank you Didi. So guys, आज चाहिँ हाम्रो Didi Mina Didi ko same thing as what I did with Marisa. We're going to go through the overview of our general assessment. We're going to go through the goals, the past experience, and then last time approach as well, right? We're going to touch upon the main key points. Like I said, there's so many things that that we could cover, right? But Didile भनेको जस्तो her body type, her experience, honestly, it's completely different from Marisa. I don't know what she's doing here on her phone. But yeah, she's just down here, by the way. All right. So what we're going to do is, it's just going to be a complete opposite. But believe it or not, a lot of the things that they'll be working towards, or the approach will be quite similar. So we're going to start off with the goals. हाम्रो Mina दिदीको goals. I know we're just going to go through it first. So one of the main goals is to obviously lose body fat percentage. Even though उहाँ हल्का slim देख्नुहुन्छ हैन, she looks fit, right? There's always
scam.
I wouldn't say it's a scam, but I would say there's always space for improvement, right? So we all want to be the best version of ourselves, all right? I don't think anyone should just be just be stagnated with where they are. They should always strive for betterment of themselves. And with that said, her another goal is to become more athletic, so which we'll kind of like touch up on as we go along, past experience ma. Her, to be more specific, she wants to be strong, quick, and the word nimble. Yeah, nimble. Yes. Oh, yeah. Kinetic stance. Yes. And then the next one, Amro. Like I said, I mentioned this on our previous video. To become healthy and fit, the perception of healthy and fit differs from person to person. So, it's very, very subjective, right? Ani त्यसपछि last but not least is to improve the quality of lifestyle, right? Which is to sleep. Right, improve the. I'm losing my word because I think we're just yawning. Meri was just yawning, and I just got distracted because it was such a loud roar. Alright, anyways, we're gonna get back into it. Alright, this one's gonna be a joke, but it's to improve the overall quality of her lifestyle, because as we go along, you'll find out that there's a lot of loopholes in our lifestyle that we need to
holes,
maybe just holes, right? All right, to improve sleep, her hydration, like the amount of water. Actually, I think she's drinking some water now, but some, and then just to be more active, right? Right. how do you feel about your just your body composition? You said like you use the word scam. Why do you think it's a scam?
This is a scam because like ever since I was a child, I was always skinny. I had a very fast metabolism rate, so I never had to put much effort into eating less. So whatever I ate, and plus because I was an athletic child, I never really had to put thinking into eating, planning food, or exercising. So I carried that habit over to my adult life. You guys don't know it yet, but once you hit 30 and you've gone 30, your body, you will feel it change. It's not as easy to lose weight. You gain weight faster. And on top of that, that habit of not thinking about what you ate, I still carry it. Okay? So my experience on food, like off camera, I was asking like, how much protein is this amount? Like I have no idea.
Oh, that's okay. We'll
I have no idea of how much to eat and what to eat, and then because being skinny was always effortless to me, now I can't have that because my age and my body has changed, and that means I have belly flaps that I very thankful for high-waisted jeans that I can conceal. Even now, like this is concealing my proper belly flap. But if you look at it from the side, you'll see a little bulge here and there.
Actually, you know what? I'm so glad you touched up on that, because I myself, right, for a very long time, let's just say for a very long time, I thought like, Kitiru, when, because like right now, right, because now I know, right, women usually have a little bit of balls there, like they're carrying a bit of fat. But when you see someone like yourself at the gym, when I see someone like you, I would think like, okay, this person doesn't have any fat, right? Right? And technically she's not overweight, but like you wouldn't think like she's got a lot of body fat, right? Or belly fat, to be even more precise. But then, like you said, right, you've got these high-waisted, jeans, you've got the tights, and what I'm coming into is that you shouldn't believe everything that you see on social media. You know what I mean? Right?
Expectation versus reality.
Exactly. Angles, lighting,
Exactly.
right? All these,
these sucking things.
Exactly, the attire that you wear.
Keep it tight.
Waist trainers.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so just going back into it, I'm topic ma. Completely different from, Marisa on our previous video. Even though I'm not 30, thankfully not yet anyway, right? And I don't like to believe like, age is like the big, the factor. But at the end of the day, as you do get older, it's not because of your age, it's mainly due to, I guess, your lifestyle. So obviously, because as you get older, as you're an adult, you have more responsibilities, you're working, you don't have the same level of energy as you when you were young, right? And and like you said, you were doing like sports and athletics and whatnot, right? So that kind of metabolism real quick too, I know. You could kind of get by, right? And not gonna lie, I think that has still kind of stuck by with you, which I can tell. Topical training, PT session, right? But nevertheless, right? Your body or your physique, your health is always gonna be, it's always the byproduct of what you do, almost on a daily basis, right? So what you do in your life, right? With that said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna touch upon past experience. So right, about your sports and athletic events. Tell us, what did you used to do? I know I put it down, but can you just elaborate for us?
In school, all my school life, I was a forced track athlete.
Forced.
I was the 100-meter queen. But recently, I've picked up a few sports of mine. Badminton, I was, again, everybody who's lived in Brunei, everybody was basically forced into badminton by their parents.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody
really?
Swimming.
No, swimming and badminton,
Really?
So whenever I play badminton, I can tell who learned it from their parents in Brunei and who did not get.
All right, a little bit off topic, but why was that?
Because badminton is such a prominent sport there,
Yeah,
and
there.
plus when you have like in camps, you have
Yeah.
like your streets, and on the streets you have badminton courts.
Really?
So you literally neighbors come out, you
Okay,
put a
yeah.
badminton net, and then you just play
Oh,
badminton.
wow.
And then when the cars have to pass, you just pull the net up.
Oh my days! What?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, no, what the hell? Right,
But
what
it
did Brunei just talk about?
yeah, in
That's
the
crazy.
in the hotness.
If
But
you
yeah.
will, there is a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
badminton is such a sports there. Actually, I used to play a lot of table tennis as well.
Oh, table tennis.
Yeah, table tennis. But now recently I've picked up tennis, and I go a lot of hiking.
Yeah.
I got into climbing a little bit, which I want to go back into. That's why I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to have a
The upper
better,
bo-
like
yeah.
a bit stronger upper body
yeah.
strength. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's more or less my sports history, to be honest.
Okay, sure.
But I've always been so against gym. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just never liked the idea
Yeah.
of going into a gym and
Yeah.
working out.
You know what? And that's perfectly fine, because when it comes to health and fitness, gym is just one of the one of the ways to, even though there's a lot of benefits to to going to the gym, like, let's be precise, to resistance training, right? Lifting weights and whatnot. Being active, playing these sports will provide you, almost the same benefits that you would probably want, right? But obviously now, when we go back to your precise goals of becoming strong, quick and nimble, we have to train a little bit accordingly to achieve that, right? So you used to do track quite competitively.
Yeah, the whole reason why I hate running, because I was forced into track at a very young age.
Yeah. But you know what? I think you should somewhat thank that experience, even though it wasn't a pleasant experience. I think physiologically, I think it kept you fit. I don't know. Okay, let's be honest. If you hadn't done track, what would you have done? Any other sports? Not really. From the look of it, no, exactly. So even though it was forced, right? I know it wasn't the most pleasant, but it gave you that. Just through that experience, you gained a lot of, I guess, experience. It developed your, I would say, just your athletic prowess, right? To put it that way. And then obviously, like you said, no resistance training. So as opposed to Amro Mirisa, who had quite a bit of experience, right, on and off. Amro Mina Didi does not have any resistance training. So how is that going to work out, right? That is the question.
That is your job.
That is my job, right? And then obviously now talking about diet, right? It's completely different from Mirza as well, right? Completely different. Mirza went through a lot of different journey, right? She went up and down the mountains and whatnot in a whole dietary journey.
In her head.
But हाम्रो दिदीको चाहिँ अलिकति जेपिटी diet छ. अलिकति no fat diet experience, but I'm sure a lot of you can relate to it, right? So what I mean by JPT diet is like, so it's a little bit of like intuitive eating. So जे पायो त्यही खाने के, so घरमा जे छ त्यही खाने हैन. So
जे
like
भेट्टाउँछ
जे
What's
भेट्टायो त्यही
convenient?
खाने. Exactly, जे convenient छ त्यही खाने, right? Yeah, जे पायो त्यही खाने. And then obviously one thing that I didn't mention in Merisa's video was that Merisa, she likes to eat like less frequently but a lot, whereas Amro Didi is completely opposite. She likes to eat little amount but more frequently. Now there are benefits, so there are studies that have showed that eating less and frequently is better for your metabolism, it is better for your overall health and whatnot, but it's not a big difference, but there are some benefits, and that's probably one of the reasons why she's maintaining the shape that she is right now, right? तर त्यो भन्दाखेरि पनि I think it's not the frequency, it's more to do with the amount that she's eating. She's not eating a lot. Honestly, when I first saw Didi's food diary, right? She wasn't really eating a lot. She was eating a lot of like, not so good quality food, but just like just kitching
all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place kind of thing. I'm like, how do you survive in that? Like, but yeah, Didi, is there anything that you want to add, like when it comes to your diet?
I mean, you pretty much summed it. It is JPT.
Yes. I think point mo to karigo.
Oh, thank you. I feel, yeah, exactly. This is body shaming right here.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, bands aside, yeah, go on.
Yeah. I never really put into much effort. That's why I have no knowledge about what I should be eating, what I should not be eating. About fruit and veg, yeah, but what type
Meri.
of but what type of fruit and veg?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah.
Like completely no idea. I mean, I've been a bit better, but
Yeah.
I still have to explore a bit into that side.
Of course. And I think, you know, even though we've done, I think you and Meri, you've been in this program, Kinetic Steps personal training program, you know, for almost 6-7 weeks now, right? I think we're approaching the end of the 2-month period, and you know, so far, honestly, the quality, I think, obviously there's still space for improvement. I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm not gonna let you off that easily, right? It still needs to. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I think it's definitely a lot better than before. And I think the most important thing for you was, you know, you needed a bit of guidance, right? You needed a bit of, because you knew like the generic idea of what healthy eating was, but you just didn't know how to put it into practice. You just needed a bit of that. Right, so now, so the goals and the past experience is completely, somewhat really different from Meri's, but now approach, right? A lot of things are very similar. First thing first, strength training, right? Because obviously I've been training them together, right? They both have been doing a lot of resistance training because there's a lot of value to it, right? There's a lot of benefits to resistance training. Strength training, why? Because obviously, you know, the main goal is to obviously be strong. One of the best way to become strong is through strength training. And strength training does not have to come in form of bodybuilding or powerlifting, right? That's just one of the approaches. So one of the similar things that we're doing with both Mina Didira, Mirisa, is that we're both taking like the functional athletic training approach. And because she wants to become more athletic, right? And it is something that I try to apply in both of their training program. Didi ko I say, most likely it's going to be a lot of plyometric, because plyometric is a type of training that helps with, improving your, I guess I would say, just athleticism overall. Try to help you, make you quicker, more nimble, and combined with strength, duita mix garin चाहिँ, I know we can achieve all of this, right?
So plyometric, give me an example of what exercise.
Okay, so plyometric, one of the examples that we've done as of plyometric, box jumps, right? Box jumps, right?
We hate that.
Box jumps, right? You need to do that. You need to do that, right? So box jumps. So there's a lot of I haven't really been able to touch up on this quite yet, because it is a highly skilled, highly quite advanced exercise. Other bodyweight plyometric that you guys may have be familiar with, like squat jumps. I know, right? Squat jumps, bio.
I don't like squats.
I
don't like squats.
All right.
I like the smashing ones.
Yeah. So so the med ball slams, they're upper body plyometric. So that will help you with developing
to
power.
Beat people up.
Yeah. Pick people up, exactly. Yeah. At work. All right. Pick people up. And then Desposite, just talking about the whole training, that's the main principle. Is very similar, obviously as a functional and athletic trainer. That is my specialty, and that's what I like to help my clients and the people who train with me achieve that. So now moving on to our diet, right? All right, Didi. All right. So one thing that lacks a lot in this person's diet is protein, and I cannot emphasize, or I cannot fathom enough how important protein is.
And he cannot tell me off enough.
Oh, please stop it.
Protein.
Stop it. All right. Anyways, so yeah, guys, to summarize it, in terms of protein, even though it varies from person to person, I think let's compare Didira, Mina Didira, Meri. So the amount of protein that they will be consuming is relatively going to be a little bit different, right? I'm not going to go in numbers because that's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing right now is just to eat a little bit more protein than what you used to eat, all right? Okay, I love this steak, man. I love this steak. All right, moving along, we're going to go into our body recomp topic. Body recomp as in body recomposition. So I mean, Meri ko, sorry, I keep bringing Meri because I want to compare, right? So Meri ko goal or approach so compare गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ it's a little bit different because Meri wants to lose body fat mainly, right? In terms of muscle mass, I think she's already got quite a bit in on her. The only difference we have here is that maybe हाम्रो दिदीको चाहिँ maybe she does not have as much muscle mass, right? But at the same time, she does not have much, as much fat percentage either, right? So that's why she's looking a little bit like, the term skinny fat. I'm not going to use what it was today, so some people look really skinny, right? We think they're fit. We think they're like quite, like just healthy, but we don't realize that the muscle to fat ratio is quite off the chart, right? So यसको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ we want हाम्रो दिदीको लागि चाहिँ what we want to do is we actually want her to lose body fat percentage, and at the same time we want her to gain muscle, if not at least retain the muscles. So that
what
is the
muscles?
Exactly. So
what do you want to retain? Zero.
So okay, let's just say gain muscles, not retain. All right, let's gain muscles. So what's going to happen now? Talking about weight skill को खासै कुरा गरेको छैन, but just to give you an idea, body recomp मा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ your measurements, right, might change हल्का, तर main कुरा चाहिँ तपाईको weight on the scale probably won't budge, because what you're doing is the weight is relatively going to be the same. If not, you might even probably more or less अलिकति घट्ला अलिकति बढ्ला, right? But the structure of your physique will somewhat change, right? By the looks of it, you'll be able to tell, right? You'll be able to feel stronger. You'll be able to hopefully you'll be a lot more quicker, right? Nimble, and just a lot more athletic, right? And then now going down into हाम्रो habits, So this is the main one, हाम्रो दिदीको लागि, because like we said, her diet and habit,
the unhuman habits.
Yeah, exactly. Habits.
How is your life habits?
Yeah, healthy lifestyle habits and behaviors is like literally the root cause of everything. So in order to eat well, in order to do well, we need to create a good habit, right? Good behavioral patterns. And in order to do that, what we're really going to focus on, right? So habit pani, we can categorize that into active lifestyle, which is going to be like, obviously to be just active throughout the day, right? Which she is because of her job. Her job requires her to stay quite active. I think, just touching up on that, हजुरको काम हुँदाखेरि त obviously you'll be quite active, right? But then one of the things that I realized was when you're obviously not working, right? Maybe you're not active at all, right? Maybe अलिअलि हुन्छ होला, right?
I think that's the normal pattern for any nurses or carers out there, or health professionals, because we get so stressed out physically and mentally when we're at work. The 2 days or the 1 day in between 2 night shifts that we get off, we just want to lie down in bed. Like we just don't want to do anything.
I've been meaning to cover this topic for people like yourself, nurses and carers. One of the reasons why they tend to gain weight is due to the unbalance that they have in their lifestyle, the pattern. They don't have any structure, right? So what goes through तपाईँहरुको mind most likely is that, okay, मैले हैन 3-4 दिन 12 घण्टा काम गरे, right? So I need to recover, and you have all the right? You think like, okay, you know what? I need my body to recover, so I'm just gonna take I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna sit down on the couch, watch TV, or just watch Netflix, just lie down. And most people think that's the best way to recover, whereas it's not. It's not, right? So yeah, with that said, right, so we're taking on different approaches to obviously improve that. We're going to come up with strategies and ideas and, lots of goal settings to help you. And that's what we've been doing so far. One of the ways that we've been, using, one of the ideas or the strategy that we've been using is the steps, right? Didi, can you show your cool watch?
I've got a nice
it's a fitness watch.
Nice little I don't know if you can you and your thing.
No, I'm just pointing out. Can't on it,
okay. By the way, I'm never a watch person, but I bought it for just to make habits.
Yeah, and you know what? What I've realized is since Meri and Mina they've started using their watch, I think I can definitely tell. I mean, I did ask them if it's been helping them, and they did say yes. It's been a big help so far, and I personally can see that as well. Right? It keeps you accountable. It keeps you a little bit motivated, and even if it's something to look at, even if it's just numerical, right?
Exactly.
It's not toxic. It's not it's nothing bad. We're not going out of.
If you don't obsess over the
numbers,
it's a right amount of quantifying what you're doing, so that you can make adjustments throughout the day.
Exactly, and obviously we're trying to create a habit, so we can't. Sometimes you do need things like this to keep you going, to keep yourself consistent. अब म गर्छु हैन ओके म भोलि हिँड्न जान्छु ओके 10,000 steps हुन्छ भनेर हैन. I've seen it enough, guys. Like, it's not going to happen. You'll probably go and get your 10,000 steps one day. The next day you'll be like, okay,
I deserve this rest.
काम छ म काममा हिँड्छु हैन, and your work might not be as busy, right? So you'll probably end up with like 5,000 steps, and then घर आइन्छ थाक्छ, and then like रात परिसक्यो किन हिँड्न जाने हैन. But when you have your watch, you're constantly, obviously, you're motivated, you have something to keep you accountable. Okay, with that said, we're gonna obviously focus on good quality food. I think that's the most important thing for her right now, right? Actually, you know what? While we're doing this video, last week of Food Diary, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example, right? Literally, I would say more than 50% of our food intake was literally packaged food. Okay? Like Anmol, मेरो काम कस्तो busy भयो हैन.
Oh my god, I don't speak like that.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm busy too, so I'll make it up for next week. And I'm like, right? We can't be having packaged food. I mean, even though sometimes it's acceptable. That's when it happens over and over again, right? There's no excuse. All right, there's something going on, right? Every now and then, all right, if you're really busy, 1 meal, 2 meal, maybe 3 meal a week is fine. But now, obviously, when it keeps happening, right?
Not 3 days in a row, people.
And you know what? I told her. I told these girls, like 5 a day, 5 fruits and vegetables. Right?
I've been on it.
Yeah. And then I see her like one of her meals, right? I'm gonna put it. I can clearly remember. It was. I don't think you've seen it, right? It was literally a wrap, right? I think it had like I don't know. It was like beans and chicken something.
You a few peppers.
Yeah. She literally put a few peppers, and I think she thought of that as gonna be like one a day, one portion of vegetables. Literally, it was like 3 slices of peppers, red peppers, and I'm like. Mate.
No, I had a handful of peppers. Like, I didn't say how many wraps I had. That meal was very heavy for me because that meal was like the day that we worked out.
So actually, remind me, what did you actually have in it?
So I had basically I single-handedly in one meal I ate quite a lot. I ate 500 grams of turkey mince. 500
that's
grams.
What it was. Yeah, mince. Yeah.
Like that's half a kilo.
That's a lot.
Half a kilo.
Okay, yeah.
And I kept eating it. Like half a kilo of turkey mince, like one whole pepper that was with that, and then onions.
Okay, was that just one wrap?
No, not 1 or 3 wraps.
3. You didn't put that down. 3.
Oh my god!
You didn't put that down.
I was meant to eat 2.
I
was meant to.
No,
listen,
it's not even the fact that it's 3 wraps. The 3 wraps that there was only 1 pepper.
Exactly.
a whole pepper थियो भनेको.
It was just 1 pepper in 3 wraps.
You could have added more, made it a little spice it up, add some lettuce.
1 pepper would be one a day.
Okay, that would be one a day, but I mean, for 3 wraps, that's a little bit shocking, okay? That's a little bit shocking. Honestly, you should have seen the picture. The worst was the image. I was like, bro, what is this? It does not.
I could tell you this based on the text. I was just like,
your food was depressing. I was
Honestly,
like, nobody's ever called my food depressing.
Honestly. All right. Anyways, moving on. We could be here all night, all day, right? So that's a prime example, guys. All right, that's one thing not to do. So that's exactly where this whole thing comes in. We're gonna build a good habit and probably take some cooking lessons, right, along the way on how to make wraps. Good appetizing wraps. But yeah, so honestly. Yeah, just getting back into it, building good habits, building good behavior, everything progressively. So we're not gonna I'm not gonna be like, all right, Didi, you gotta start having salad, you gotta start having this and that, right? We're taking a very slow and methodical approach, right? Steps. Baby steps, one step at a time. Definitely baby steps for her, right? Yeah, but no, yeah, honestly, but she is trying. You know, they're both trying, and it's been really good so far. I can't take that away, honestly. As much as I would love to, bash on these guys. These guys are.
Make us a rap one day.
It's good.
Okay, it probably is. Yeah.
It might not look good,
Yeah.
but it was like I put taco seasoning in it.
Yeah. Sometimes this look good, and then once you take a bite, yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, I've never tried it, so all right. So along with that, like I said, habits. So we're looking at improving the quality of lifestyle, which means sleep. Didi, I asked you earlier, but you said your sleep's gone a lot better.
Yeah. Not today.
Not today. Okay, but
Yeah.
just in general, right?
Before you came along, I probably had like 4 to 5 hours a day, on average 4.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
But now I have at least 6.5.
Okay, we're getting there.
At
All
least
right.
6.5. I mean, obviously on days like this where I have to go around schedule, then I don't sleep as much, but I will make it up with like a long
naps
nap
and stuff,
later
afternoon
on.
sleep. Yeah. So yours is more like you don't get a good consistent sleep, but you try to kind of break it down, I guess, almost.
One thing I've changed though, I've stopped sleeping on my break at work.
Okay.
So what I used to do was I used to sleep at work on my break, then come home.
Night shift?
Yeah, on night shifts. That would, I think, make me sleep less at home. So what I did was I tire myself out by sleeping at work, and then I come home and I crash on the bed for a long period of time.
Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, it takes a little bit of, I won't say little, it does take some effort to kind of go through those changes, because you've probably been sticking to that kind of sleeping regime for, let's say quite a while, right? Going to work, sleeping at work, and by the time you come home, maybe you're not as sleepy, so you'll probably just sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, wake up, and then you feel probably like tired again, right? So that's where we're trying to obviously work on. Yeah, really nice to hear that your obviously sleep is getting better, and hydration as well. I know you're drinking a lot more than what you used to.
Yeah,
right?
Hydration pane. Hydration pane. No, I used to probably not even remember whether I drank or not during the day, or whether I drank water. Maybe like 1 to 2 glasses of water a day before all this happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's me.
Yeah.
1 to 2 glasses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then it took me 6 weeks to actually start drinking 2 liters a day. And I tricked my mind into it though. I haven't told you guys this, but I tricked my mind into it. So, you know how I was struggling to drink 2 liters a day, Nita. I was making up to 1,500, but I was struggling because from not drinking water to suddenly drinking 1,500 is a lot. Okay?
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is.
And you guys know that I would rather have flavored water.
Yeah.
So what I did was, though you have those little concentrated squash.
Yeah.
So what I did was I started using that to make a habit of drinking more. Yeah. And then slowly I stopped putting reduce the amount that I put in the squash, and now I've gone on clear water. So it's like now reaching for water is like quite natural for me.
Okay,
like
even if amazing.
Yeah, even if I drink like.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna applaud that as well.
So you gotta trick your body. You gotta know your body and trick it.
Yeah. So there's a saying. Fake it until you make it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the queens of that.
But no, honestly, guys, I can't state this enough, right? The progress, right? Even though you might not see the physical, the physiological, not physiological, the physical progress or the physical difference as much, right? In the 6 weeks, but remember, we're working on the foundation of things, right? We're working on what really keeps us alive, well, healthy, content, right? Active, right? And that is exactly what we're doing right now, and it is. So I think, you know what, the progress that you guys are making right now, it's amazing. The, you know, topical sleep is getting better, your hydration is getting better, right? Your diet is definitely getting better, but obviously it still needs more.
It's crawling towards it.
Yeah, it still needs more.
On all fours, it's crawling.
Of course. But yeah, so diet, obviously, you know, in terms of training, though, I think that comes pretty naturally to her as well. Didi, she's more very cardiovascular because of her past experience and the type of sport that she plays as well. Right? She's very kind of like, I guess the cardio exercises comes a little bit naturally to her, right? Whereas, you know, Meri's always a little bit more kind of like weight based. So she's, you know, it really comes down to the experience, honestly. So everything's like personalized, right? You can't do the same thing. So the same thing that Mina Didi is good at, or that Mina Didi's been doing, so, you know, until now, is probably not gonna be easy to do for Meri Sage, right? And then vice versa, exactly. And then we noticed it. I think I'm the first, second session, no, we did like a 12 kg med-ball toss, no. Meri did it like quite easily.
Yeah.
You know, the weight that she carried, it was natural. Obviously, she had to work for it, but it came a lot naturally. Whereas you were kind of like struggling. Exactly. Yeah. But then now, if we had to do a little bit more cardiovascular based, like a little bit running or a little bit like some sled push, yeah, even the steps, exactly, just steps, just aerobic, just steps. You know, things like that. She's a lot more natural at it because of her past experience and because, you know, of what she's been doing until now. Right, so we have to take all of that into consideration. But yeah, with that said, you know, that is kind of like the overview. Mina Didi ko, na Didi. Is there anything that you want to add in any of these?
Not really, but generally, I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like I have more energy.
Yeah.
I am less irritated.
Yeah. I can definitely tell that. I can definitely tell that.
But the thing is, you know how we do our body measurements and weighing every week. I've literally stayed at the same weight. Tara, I can fit into my jeans that I never used to fit into. Yeah. And like I can see my thighs are getting like shapes a little bit.
I was gonna say that. Looking a lot more toned and
it's getting it's shape. You know
kick it up. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and some of the exercises are getting so much better, like the throwing one, because it's like the form is it's getting easier. And like, to be honest, I'm quite happy at the minute, and I feel like I'm getting my nutrients because I'm eating more fruit and veg.
Exactly.
One pepper.
Excuse me, that was one meal a day.
Okay.
Fruit and veg, and you know, I'm planning better. Everything's quite thick. But the one thing that I wanted to really point out, and I'm quite grateful for, is that you've always said that this journey and everything has to be healthy, not only physically, but also mentally as well.
Of course.
And I think not struggling and like going to the gym and warming me up to the gym, warming me up to strength training, and warming me up to eating healthier, but not necessarily in a... not necessarily in a fat diet, or making healthy eating tasty at the same time. It's like, I'm so grateful that you were my first coach, like my health coach. Like, if I had experience like Meri, who had like
expensive.
little experience, like little guidance or wrong guidance. I'm glad I didn't get to do that. I'm glad I got you.
Thank you.
And all your knowledge.
Honestly, Didi, I think likewise. It's been incredible working with these two so far. You know, Meri and Mina Didi, both of them, and you know, as much as, you know, I would like to take the credit, right? As a coach, I'm providing them with all the guidance and the knowledge that I have, right? At the end of the day, I always say this to my clients: these ladies, they need to do it themselves, right? So it only works if they put it in, right? I'm just the guidance. I'm just the tool to kind of help them. You know, like I said, my whole approach to the whole, you know, the weight loss or just the health and fitness in general is, I want to look at it long term, right? If I wanted to get her ripped and I wanted to get her to, you know, obviously just exactly. If I wanted to get her ripped, or if I wanted to get her like in the best shape of her life, I could do that if she was willing to, you know, count calories, count macros, you know, do strict training, right? But obviously that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for these guys are really distracting me. We're looking for our long-term goals, long-term sustainable results, right?
Exactly. And I love how you don't focus or obsess over numbers. Okay?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, if you're eating enough, you're eating enough. If you're not eating enough, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not like, you have to have this many calories. You have to have this many.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about it. You're making it so effortless.
Yeah.
And it's easy for us as well. It's more digestible.
Yeah.
And the whole, you know, you consider like women's health as well, our period times and the hormonal changes in our bodies during the month, and you know, everything else, and our stress level, our emotional well-being as well. And it's such a holistic approach rather than just taking one thing at a time. You know, and I think
definitely. And I think honestly that's how it should be. I know I'm not perfect in a sense where, like, you know, I've got all the knowledge to help the clients to their best ability, but I feel like that's, you know, in one way I'm proud that I'm actually taking the right approach, right? It's really easy to give your clients the number of calories, the number of protein, right? The number of carbs, whatever, the number of steps, like, you know, every day to, you know, for them to kind of aim for, right? Especially with diet, because that's the hardest bit of the whole health and fitness space. First thing first, always focus on the foundation, right? Sleep, water, just, you know, less processed food, right?
Basic things.
Basic things.
Go back to caveman style.
Exactly. And that's all we're doing right now, right? It's no brainer. I'm not giving them any pills. I'm not getting them to eat any supplements. I'm not telling them. Honestly, these guys are actually training once a week with me right now. Literally once a week with me. And we're just focusing on just other foundational things right now. Obviously, we're going to up that. We're going to increase that frequency as we go along. But right now, we're really looking at the long-term effect. We're focusing on the foundation. And, you know, as long as these ladies are enjoying it, you know, that's all that matters. And when you enjoy things, you're most likely to stick to it. And I'm not just saying that. There's a whole evidence, there's a whole research studies, everything that you need to know to support that claim, right? So first thing first, always find what you enjoy, right? And if you can't find it, right, if someone's helping you, that person's got to make it enjoyable for the clients, or, you know, for you guys.
And before we say bye, I'm just gonna say what I'm not happy about. You know, I used to act like a man. Now he's corrected my posture, and now I stand like a man. You know. And with that said, you must have seen it. Like, I'm literally like this. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this knowledge and a very different body style and a very different approach to Meri. And there will be ladies who are Meri's body type. There will be ladies who are my body type. And I'm just glad that we were able to cover, like, very unintentionally, we were able to cover a few things. So thank you so much for tuning in.
All right, thank you so much, guys.
Meri, do you want to come up and say bye?
She's coming up.
Right.
All right, come.
Bye. Yeah, bye.
Bye.